Hello, future people. Welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and today we're going to continue our series looking at household. So, Household is a role-playing game that I pledged for about 12 to 18 months ago. It arrived last week. Truth be told, this is the second time I've attempted to record this video because I had an issue with my microphone. My cable went kablooey. So, yeah, we're looking at the game. We're going to be looking at all three of the books in separate videos. Today will be the first of those, but let's start looking at the actual packaging itself. All right. So, first things first, I love the box that these books come in. And yes, in case you're wondering, the box is a make-believe book. Lovely and magnetized, which I love. But it is actually a box as well. These pages are obviously fake. I suppose the only downside I could say is that they don't line up properly. But that is me being massively nitpicking. There's almost no way of guaranteeing that would ever happen anyway. On the back, for the house is big, and these are such small matters. Love that. And the spine of the book, Household Volume 1, Opera Omnia. So clearly, we have future stuff coming, which is great. Especially for a world that, at least from what I see so far, has a lot of room for expansion. So, we open this up to one of the gorgeous pieces of artwork that we saw on the Kickstarter campaign. This is maybe my favourite piece of artwork from what I saw on the Kickstarter campaign. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The artwork for this game is so good. Moving to the inside, holds everything. So we've got all three books here. This is a DM's screen, which we'll look at as well. And there's also a bit of a cheat sheet of a map here. But for now, we are looking at Household Volume 1. So here we are with the first book. This is obviously the first major book that we'll be looking at. So just Household Volume 1. I would assume that this will be our core rules. Looking at the back. 100 years have passed since the master left his house, and now the little folk have returned to claim the household. The strong boggarts in the hearth, the refined fairies from the garden, the ingenious sprites on the upper floor, and the daring slough from the horde down in the basement have finally reached an agreement and given to a fragile peace. Household history is being made among old disagreements, new alliances, and great revolutions. Every littling, no matter how small, has the power to change the world. So temper your pins and sharpen your scissors. Wear your best suits and bridle your mice. You're going on a tiny adventure. Household is a role-playing game filled with adventure, intrigue, and social interactions. Set in a large abandoned house, it takes place in a world that resembles 19th century Europe, in which each room constitutes a proper nation you can explore. The players will take on the role of littlings, tiny people who belong to the little folk of European folklore, and will go on tiny, great adventures together. I love this. Just instantly sets the mood. I love this. Lovely artwork on the front too. It's not so much a piece of art. It's more, it kind of looks like it's several pieces of art put together. There's clearly a divide here. There's a war that's going on, either centered around these people. I'm guessing either one of two things. Either this is a Romeo and Juliet situation, or it was a potential Romeo and Juliet situation that's blown up in their face. So either these people are in love despite this, or this is happening because their love didn't work. One or the other. As always, my shadows are lovely. Lovely decorations here on the inside. Look, I know that these shadows are annoying for certain people. I try to make do with the non-existent budget that I have. Household objective. Relating to a... It's literally the dictionary definition of what a household is. Tiny meters. We have no way of knowing how tall the littlings are, or how big the household truly is. What we know is that the little folk measure everything in tiny meters, a unit of measurement that is, alas, unknown to us to this day. As such, we decided to consider that for littlings a tiny meter is as large as a meter is to humans. It's easier to live with this lack of clarity than to try and create some unsizely units of measurement into this tiny world. So we start with the preface and a little bit about what a role-playing game is, what we're playing, how to play. That all kind of makes a little bit of sense. Obviously, that's always the place to... Ooh, always the place to start. That is gorgeous. And it's actually a littling that's actually painting something. I like that. That's really nice. Forward again. And here we are into the world. So we're starting to get a few things real world for scale here. Here we go. Folk and nations. So this is where we start putting our world together, I would imagine. Origins of the little folk. I love that. Almost swashbuckling type thing. She's using a whip to swing around, so that's very much Indiana Jones. But she kind of has a pirate vibe going on. Fairies. Wings very much being central to the worldview by the look of it. Kind of... I like that. So we start off with a little bit of word about the culture. Hereditary contract. The realm. What's this medal? The 8-pointed star is their national emblem. Some customs. A little word about their armed forces. Then we're going into the boggart. So this is very much about setting the scene for their worldview, by the look of it, as opposed to individuals. And so again, we're going through the culture, population. These kind of look a little bit more traditional human. Hereditary contract. The hearth. So very clearly, all of these symbols here are going to be what their national symbol is, which is literally a fireplace. It makes sense. In case you're wondering what a hearth is, it's part of the fireplace. Customs, traditions, armed forces. Kind of feels like, yeah, just essentially old school 19th century humans. I mean, obviously they're tiny people, but that's kind of the vibe that we seem to have here. The borrowers kind of thing. Sprites. So sprites are, again, kind of something fae-like. They're not really fae, but you tend to have these like smoky and wispy. And so we've got salamanders, undines, sylphs. So they're actually breaking them up. I would imagine that then we're going into, yep, population, free dominions. I like that. Kind of like a flower person type thing. That is quite nice. 3 keys is their symbol. Obviously representing the 3 peoples coming together, I would imagine. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. The artwork is not disappointing here. So we're getting a talk about the armed forces for all of them, because obviously, like, these countries are, I mean, they're at peace at the moment, but they have been warring, so it makes sense that they would have. And the Slough are our insect people, which is what they should have been. Again, go straight into culture, because the Slough are all one people. See, the artwork in this is amazing. That looks like it's a serrated blade, apparently. It almost looks like a shuriken. It's not a shuriken, but that kind of reminds me of one. Kind of look very nomad in the way that they've been designed. Even like in the previous pages here. Very nomad. Well, that's very super fancy. This almost looks steampunk. Very wide range of looks. Your character. Nice. So, this is going to be the important part for a lot of people. Again, I'm only skimming through this. Kind of just getting first impressions. If you would like me to do a more in-depth look at the game after a few weeks of reading through it all, then I need you to let me know that, because if you don't, it's a video that I won't do. I'm very happy to dive into this. I don't have the ability to do a playthrough video or anything for you. I don't have the physical ability to do that. But I am very happy to give opinions on the rulebook once I get more into grips with it, if that is content that you would like to see. So, I like this. So I'm just going to use this as an example because it's the one that I'm on. So we've got scholars, right? Scholars could just be a generic term for everything. But no, it breaks down into 6 very different sort of things. I like that. It's adding options. I like options. It makes a game feel less generic. I mean, 5th edition D&D does have a habit of feeling very generic at times, but it does break down, not quite this much, but it does break down quite nicely. Why do I compare it to D&D? Well, it's the biggest name in the space. Love it or hate it. I do like D&D, but I kind of have the itching for something else at the moment. What have we got under criminals? We have Cortesian, cheater, thief, professional, snitch, and thug. So yes, very much all criminals. Duelists. Oh, I love the... Oh, here's another one of our pairs of scissors. It's actually broken the handle down a bit too. I quite like that. Oh, this is cool. That looks nasty. That'd be a nightmare to actually try to use, but it looks really nasty. So you wouldn't even really need to stab them. All you need to do is catch them with one of these many barbs. What do we got in here? So we got a mouse. There's our little lizard that we saw in the mini. Bumblebee. And a moth, I want to say. Or is it a beetle? No, I think it might be a beetle. It's kind of hard to tell because it's kind of blending into her outfit. Yeah, it was a beetle. Yeah, I thought so. I love the bumblebee and I love how fluffy it looks. Mice, gecko. Oh, it's a gecko. Okay. Well, I suppose gecko was a lizard, but... Professional traits. Then we're getting into the how to play. Again, we're just skimming through. I've got the dice here. Rerolls. Snip it into lifestyle. I'm guessing this is a wedding of some kind. Either that or it's people that are kind of falling in love on the dance floor at some random event. Little jester over here. Oh, I love that. And I love how not incredibly obvious that is. It's like we can see it, but you can tell that they don't. And it kind of gives the hint as to why, because it's very shady and yeah, no, I like this. I want to say that's a grasshopper down there by the look of the legs. The way that they're selling the world here is really, really nice. Now, obviously, I'm only skimming through this. Oh, come on. What's not to love about that? That is beautiful. The artists in this are above and beyond. They're so good. Oh, I hate wasps so much. Oh, I love that. Nice. Being caught cheating, I would imagine. Or he's caught this guy cheating and he's trying to deny it. Conditions and decorum. Now, I am just skimming through this, so there definitely will be pieces of artwork that I have, and oh, that's cool. There's definitely going to be artwork in this that I haven't come across, because I am just skimming through it. Equipment. Now, this is what I want to look at. I love the everyday items being used as weapons. It is a really cool idea. A bolt being used as probably a mace of some kind. These are literally just small versions of our weapons. See, I love this. It's so good. Household history. Now, this is going to be one that you're going to want to spend some time on. The First Household War. Brothers' Edict. Yeah, just really, really nice. Like I said, I imagine that the story is in here. I'm not reading it at this stage. But to me, just looking at the artwork purely and simply, either these are lovers that have found each other despite the war that's happened, or this is a war that's happened because this is a couple that had a falling out. It's one or the other. Quite a few battles here. Oh. I'm guessing that this battle of, what did they call it? Quillwater? This is a goose that's got in through the window. That's my theory. I love that. Here's our couple, or at least my assumed couple from before. Saga. Chapters, paragraphs, historical events, and advancement. Isn't that just a continuation of what we were just doing, though? I guess not. This is all good because it helps you build a history for your character. Oh, I love this. Honestly, it's my favourite piece of artwork from what I've seen so far. Oh, picture of the house. Nice. There should be more of this, I suspect. Entry hall. Oh, so we're going into the actual areas of the house now. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love how long this has been sitting. They did say it's been 100 years, so this kind of makes sense. I don't quite know why. Oh, that's so slimy, though. I guess because it's not our world. But, like, seriously, why is this all slimy? The piano. Actual cities for the little people. It's like a moth lady. Because they're definitely moth or butterfly wings. The great window. Actually armoured up rats. Mice, rather. Christmas tree that's fallen over. Living room. The Yule tree. Because I guess they are from myth and lore, so it would make sense that they would actually call it what it was originally, and not what it got changed into. Here's our gentleman from before. I think that's the third time or fourth time we've seen him now. He's obviously very important. Really beautiful artwork. Just sells the world so well. I definitely want to get a game of this. I really, really do. Like everything that I'm seeing artwork-wise, it's so beautiful. And you could have so much fun exploring this mythical house as tiny little people. It would be so much fun. Because you get to play with the ideas of like actually being tiny people. Like you can do a lot of things with that. It's not really something that D&D does. I mean, you do have tiny little creatures, but it's just not something that D&D does. Not without going unique and changing it up entirely. I mean, you could do it in D&D, but it would require a lot of work by your DM to create it. Oh, there we go. So this is probably an area that you probably shouldn't be looking at as the player, because there's probably information in here that you're not supposed to have. Wasps, centipedes, earwigs, soldiers, scouts, common spiders, hornets, rats. I would imagine that rats are one of your big bads. Spiders. Honor guard, master duelist. Janissaries? Interesting. Orb weaver, net casting spider, giant centipede. Oh, hang on. Well, we've got a typing error here because there's a T that's missing there. Because we've got giant centipede's tail, but then we've got the actual giant centipede itself. There should be a T there. So I have found a mistake. It's all right. It happens. Legs of the huntsman spider, and then the actual huntsman spider itself, because this is so big that it's got multiple pieces. And then here we have an introductory adventure, which I will not go into details of. But so that is our introductory adventure in the back of the book. In the back, we have our character sheet, as you would expect. Continues over. A warm farewell. So there we are. That's the first book in the series. I will be going through all three of these. I'll be doing them in separate videos for fairly obvious reasons. Because even though I'm just skimming through them, there's a lot of content in here. So if I go through every page and everything and all in one video, we're going to be here for hours. Like I said earlier, we're only skimming through these videos at this stage, but if you want me to go more in depth once I've got a more in-depth feel of how the game plays, let me know. If I get people asking for that, I'm willing to make the video. But if I don't, I won't be making it. You've made it through to the end of another video. Your next mission is to hit subscribe and comment down below. If you'd like to reach out to the team, consider doing that, gettingtabled@gmail.com. Consider subscribing to our Patreon. For only $2 a month, you get early access to almost every single video that we do. Our most active social media is facebook.com/gettingtabled. It's where you'll find everything first. There's also a Discord. There's an invite on screen right now. If you type that in, it'll give you instant access. If you're on Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. It's not the most active, but it's something we're trying to use more all the time. Come and check out Jason the Bruce at Twitch. He does both video game and hobby content. And of course, without question, play more.